Yo, what's up, my peeps out there in the digital space? Hope y'all are having a terrific Thursday. Give me a second here. Yo, what's up, my peeps out there? Oh, yeah, I had to put myself on mute there on another screen. All right, what's up, my peeps? I know it is late. It's probably, I'm on Central Time. Some of y'all are probably on Eastern Time. If you're on Eastern Time, it's probably late for you all. But nonetheless, for those who do not know me, my name is Cedric Jenkins, founder Mr. Anderson. What's going on? Hope all is well your way. Let me get intro out of the way and let me get this message out of the way so I can won't be long here, all right? My name is Cedric Jenkins, founder and creator of Your Money Matters. Your Money Matters because of the fact we get up each and every day to earn it. You had the God-given right to keep it. However, you see the title. Someone is stealing your money. Someone is stealing your money, and that's the reason why we're not able to keep our money. Now, some of us don't even know who the thief is, all right? But we have a thief among us while we're earning money. I didn't know it, but we have a thief among us that's stealing our money. If they're stealing your money now, they're stealing your future generations for later. So what we got to do is identify the thief, and that's why I do what I do, right? I come on here, whether it be one-on-one, socially, online, what have you, and I share with my people as far as what financial challenge you're up against, and then from there, plot, plan, and strategize a way to get your money back. All right. Because here's the thing, a thief is nothing more than someone just taking someone else's personal property through brute force, through violence, or what have you. But in this case, they use an intellect to steal your money. All right. I'm not going to say who as of yet, but I'm going to get into that in just a short minute. But I want y'all to know that we had to have some awareness as far as who's taking our money. All right. If we don't know who's taking our money, making more money is irrelevant. See, we don't have a problem making more money. We can work overtime to get more money. We can work 2 or 3 jobs to get more money. We can work a side hustle to get more money. Hell, for that matter, we can work a business to get more money. But if you're doing all those things and you have a thief, none of that is relevant. So we have to identify the thief. We have to identify the thief. Think about it like this. You have a bucket and you're trying to fill that bucket full of water. All right. But you have holes in that bucket. Now ask yourself the question, will you be able to fill that bucket? The answer is no, because you have holes in your bucket. I don't care if you turn on the faucet as high as you can, you will never fill that bucket because you have holes in your bucket. Well, it's the same thing when it comes to our finances, all right? We have financial holes in our financial bucket that we need to know about, plug it up, so that way we can fill up our financial bucket. All right. So without further ado, I'm going in presentation mode, so I'm not going to be able to see much of the comments. Well, at least not here on my computer, but I am here. We can fill up our financial. I am here on my live here. So listen, let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we're going to get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so right now, here's what we got. We're going to start this off right here, and we're going to talk about the bloody mess, right? We're going to talk about the bloody mess. Now, Why are we going to talk about the bloody mess? And that's we're going to talk about the bloody mess because of the fact we're going to identify the thief. And in this case, the thieves are the banks. All right. The thieves is the bank. Now I'm trying to see whether or not I got to know I got to do a slight delay in okay, gotcha. All right. So I want to show you how money is being transferred out of your household into somebody else's bank account. And when it goes to somebody else's bank account, they are building generational wealth off of your money. Okay? Building generational wealth off of your money. Banks do this each and every day. All right? Banks do this each and every day. And what I had to learn was banks are not our friend. All right. Banks are not our friends. Yes, they give us bank products that we can use, things of that nature. Yes, they have holding patterns like checking accounts and savings accounts where you can put our money in. But for the most part, you cannot use a bank to build wealth. I had to learn that myself. Right now, banks is just a temporary holding spot for me. It's a pass through for me. All right. It's just a pass through. Money comes into my account. My money leaves that banking account and it goes into an asset that produces money for me around the clock. All right. Because if it sits in the bank, it's not going to work for me. It's going to work for the bank. And I'm about to show you. So here's what happens when we have lifestyle expenses, and most of them are big tickets. And so when they're big tickets, then now what we have to do is we have to go and get a loan or put it on credit. Anytime we borrow money from a financial institution, then that means interest is tied to it. All right. So when we borrow something, we're not going to borrow the amount, we're not going to pay back the amount that we borrowed. We're going to pay back the amount that we borrowed plus interest. All right. There's never been a point to where we pay back what we borrowed. I wish it was. But typically when you go to a bank, you're going to pay back what you borrowed plus interest. The interest is what makes the banks rich. All right. The interest is what makes the banks rich. And plus they have the laws on their side, so they always gonna get bailed out if they go plummet. Unfortunately, taxpayers or bank customers don't have the laws on their side to get bailed out. Right? That's another story. But let's look at the bloody mess. All right. We're going to talk about the bloody mess. Now, what I'm going to show you is a person, which is actually, this is mine, to be quite honest, a person having a balance, a credit card balance, and you're going to see how much more money the bank is going to earn off of me owing that bank. All right. So what I'm about to show you is a Navy Federal credit card that I used to have with a balance. All right. So let's get it started. So this is what I owed on my Navy Federal credit card. All right. This is the amount that I owed on it, $20,000. Lo and behold, Navy Federal said, hey, Cedric, we're going to give you a $20,000 credit card limit. I don't know why they wanted to do that, because at that point, I had bad money habits. But they gave me $20,000. See, let me say this before I go any further. Making more money doesn't make you financially smarter. Now, I just stepped on a lot of folks' toes when I said that, because a lot of folks tend to think you're going to get smarter when you get more money. That's not the case. That is not the case. But they messed around and gave said a $20,000 credit card limit. So to me, I'm thinking I got $20,000. In my mind, mentally, I'm thinking I got $20,000 that I can go spend on. And because of the fact I have bad money habits, I'm owing this debt. Now, this is how much my monthly payment was on that $20,000. All right, this is what my monthly payment was. Here is my interest rate, or APR. All right, 15%. Basically, you know all of this stuff when you get your new credit card in the mail, and they lay all this stuff out on 3 or 4 sheets where your credit card is attached to it. Most of us, like myself, when I got my credit card, I didn't even read the terms and conditions on it. I found out about my interest rate later on. Some of us, I ain't gonna say all of us, but some of us, all we do is when we get that credit card, we just turn it on. We just turn it. Well, actually, we call the number on that little piece of tape to activate it. Once we activate it, we take that tape off and we go swipe, swipe, swipe. That's what most of us do, or some of us do. All right, that's what Said did, and as a result, I got myself in $20,000 worth of debt. Now, here's the thing. Now, we want to find out how much money that the banks are going to make. So the first thing that we want to do is we got to find out the monthly percentage rate. Okay, the monthly percentage rate. Just know that interest is accrued each and every day. All right, so we start off with the monthly percentage rate. So we're going to take the 15% and we're going to divide it by 12. We got 12 months in a year. Every month, interest is going to be accrued. Every day, interest is going to be accrued. So we're starting off with a monthly interest rate. So every month, interest is accruing at 1.25%. Okay? 1.25%. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to know how much of this $300 is going to interest and principal. Just notice, ladies and gentlemen, when you make monthly payments on something, whether it be your credit card, student loan, mortgage loan, things of that nature, the banks, and I know this because I used to be a COBOL programmer for a local bank here back in the day, in my early days of computers, to where I had logic coming in to where if a payment comes into my commercial loans and installment loan system, I break that monthly payment down. The first thing I do is I take a portion of that monthly payment and satisfy interest first. Okay. And then whatever the remaining amount goes to principal. All right. Just know this. That's how monthly payments work. Anytime you got a loan or a credit card or anything like that, and you making monthly payments, it's broken down into buckets, an interest bucket and a principal bucket. The quickest way to pay off a loan is principal reduction, which means most of your money, if not all of it, should be going to principal. However, before any of your money, your monthly payment goes to principal, it has to satisfy interest first. All right. So now, in this scenario, I want to know how much of my $300 monthly payment is going to, how much of it is going in interest. So what's the formula for that? So basically we take the 1.25% and we're going to multiply that by $20,000. All right. So as you can see, we know how math works. We move the decimal place 2 places. All right. So that makes it 0.0125%. And we're going to multiply that by the balance that I owe, which is $20,000. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, $250 is going to interest. Let me say that real slow. $250 of my $300 monthly payment is going to interest. Who owns interest? The banks. Which means $250 going to the bank's pocket. It ain't even touching my $20,000 debt. Remember, your monthly payment has to satisfy interest first before principal. Okay? It has to satisfy interest first, then principal. So now we see how much how much of my monthly payment is going to interest. Next thing we need to know is how much of the remaining amount is going to principal. Well, that's very easy, right? Only $50 going to principal. Remember, to pay off a loan or balance quicker, you have to have principal reduction. $50, only $50 is going to that $20,000 debt. That money, that my monthly payment, as you can see right now, is already bloody. My money is working for the bank and not for myself. I'm still in debt. Now, we need to know what's the reality as far as paying this thing off. All right. So when we look at it, here's my reality. I'm going to take $20,000. We're going to divide that by the $50 that was going to principal. And what that gives me is 400, meaning 400 months. All right. Women lie, men lie, but math will never lie. This is why I'm showing people the math. All right. You can argue with said all day long, but the math is facts. All right. So $20,000. This is my reality. It's going to take me 400 months for me making minimum payments of $300 to pay off that $20,000. Now, let's see how long it's really going to take in years. So we're going to take the 400 months divided by 12. That's 12 months in a year. That's 33 years. Making minimum payments. And I know most of us, we count it all joy when we make minimum payments. But look what happens when we make minimum payments. We're not even making a dent. If you go on my timeline, I posted a video earlier this morning with an old woman with boxing gloves on, and she's hitting the boxing bag, and she's barely tapping that thing. She's barely moving it. That's what this is right here. This is the old lady hitting that boxing bag and barely making it move. When we make minimum payments, we barely making that balance move. As you can see, that $20,000 wasn't going anywhere because only $50 is going to it. And it's going to take me on schedule 33 years if I continue to make minimum payments. So let's see how much more money the bank is making by me staying on that $300 minimum payment every month. Here's how we find out, right? We're going to take the $250 of interest, of money that's going to interest, and we're going to multiply by 400 months. And as you can see, the banks over the course of 33 years would have earned in interest of $100,000 off of said. I'm going to say this again. Men lie, women lie, numbers will never lie. You can argue with said all day long, but I'm just going to put the numbers right there for you to stew on. $250 of interest every month for 33 years, the banks would have made $100,000. So what is that telling you? My interest made the banks $100,000 richer, which means I done paid for that thing, that $20,000 at least 5 times. I'm 5 times poor. I done paid this thing 5 times, 5 more times than I should have, because I'm making minimum payments, because I'm check to check. I'm cash flow negative, because I got other debts. I got other bills to pay, right? I know it. It's to get down out here. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, we don't have enough cash flow to go purchase enough things in cash. And I'm not talking about, a home or anything like that, but I'm talking about stuff I'm talking about consumer debt, like credit cards, right? Because we just need to use our credit cards on certain occasions. But we get into the habit of we lean on the credit card real hard. And when we do, guess who makes more money when we lean on the credit card? The banks. I'm showing it to you right here. This is my Navy Federal. I'm being very transparent. This is my Navy Federal credit card balance that I had about 6 years ago. Said had bad money habits. Again, you making more money doesn't make you financially smarter. And at that point, I was not smarter. And because of the fact that I was not smarter, I was poor. I was even poor because now I got this debt. But lo and behold, I found out a way to come up out of that. Okay. I found a way to come up out of that. So this formula works for you having a mortgage. If you have a student loan, credit cards, any kind of small little loan that has interest tied to it, you can use this formula to determine how long it's going to take for you to pay it off and how much money that institution is going to make off of you making the minimum payments. Okay? Apply this formula to whatever debt that you have, plug in your numbers and see how much more money that the institution is going to make off of you. You need to know this. This is the thief, ladies and gentlemen. See, they didn't put a gun to your head. They didn't even come into your home. They didn't even break into your car. None of that. They stole from you with intellect. I'm going to say this again. They stole from you with intellect. All they're doing is using the good old capitalism to take your money. And capitalism is written throughout all of our governmental laws. And all they did was beat you to your money. You earning money, but they don't beat you to it. They don't beat you to it. Now you got to go work a second job, third job, or what have you to stay ahead because of the fact you get beat with intellect. But we can fight fire with fire. See, in order for you to be intellect, you gotta use intellect to get your money back. And so that's what myself and my colleagues do, is to show people what they're up against each and every time they're earning money, because you need to have some awareness. All right. And then from there, once you understand who you're up against, then now we'll show you what you need to use to get your money. Keep your money. Build your money. All right. So again, I don't pay this 5 times more than I should have because I'm making minimum payments. Now I was thinking I was doing good because I was making minimum payments. I was meeting all my bills on time, but it was just minimum payments. So I wasn't making no dent. So basically is this is one of my mentors that said, interest is a penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you couldn't afford. And basically that's how we live in life. Most say, yeah, Cedric, this is a borrowing and lending society. Yes, but which end would you rather be on? The lending or the borrowing? If you're gonna be borrowing, now you slave to the lender. And we already being oppressed as it is. See, we were looking at Brother Floyd, rest his soul, with that knee on his neck and he couldn't breathe. All right? From a physical standpoint. But metaphorically, we all can't breathe, especially financially. All of us got that knee on our neck. And this is one of the reasons why. Because we don't know, half of us don't even know this is happening to them. How are you going to counteract a punch if you don't know if the punch is coming? How are you going to protect yourself from a punch if you don't know if a punch is coming? And this here is a huge sucker punch. To a lot of us, it was a sucker punch to me. But this is a sucker punch to a lot of us. But as long as we know the punch is coming, now we can rope a dope. We can bob and weave financially. We can bob and weave and keep the punches from hitting us. All right. That's called strategy. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna close. As a matter of fact, let me stop sharing so you can see my face. So check this out. Now, I just showed you numbers. All right. I just showed you numbers. I'm not in the convincing business. All right. I just like to provide facts to get rid of ignorance because that's what happened to me. If we want to kill a virus called ignorance, because ignorance is a virus, but see, ignorance is fixable. But in order for us to kill that virus, we have to see the facts. We have to know and understand the facts. We have to have humility to listen to the facts. Get some understanding and say, hey, look, this is happening to me too. This is happening to me as well. Now, look, for those who say, hey, look, I'm always going to have debt and I ain't going to never pay debt off, then you're not going to see value in this. And for those who of that mindset, continue doing what you're doing. All right? Continue doing what you're doing. And I do hope that you don't pass your debt down to your children when you're dead and gone. All right. But for those who are saying, well, hey, look, I ain't trying to have my money work for the bank. I need my money to work for me. I'm strapped. You know what I mean? I'm strapped. I don't need my money to work for nobody else. I need my money to work for me. So if you of that person, you probably found value in this video. Okay. If you found value in this video, you see the link that has been strolling while I've been talking. Go to that link. Okay. As a matter of fact, could I post it here? I guess I could. We'll see. But go to that link there. And if you're interested in learning more, there's another video on that link. You can bypass that link. I mean, bypass that video and go straight to learning and joining a exclusive group called My Econ, where we talk about money awareness, money education, money strategies, along with money infrastructure to get your finances in order. This is where we don't have to wait on the government. Okay? We don't have to wait on the government to come to our rescue. I've said this before. The people are not on the agenda. They're not part of the agenda. If anything, the people are on the menu. They're being hunted. And they're being hunted physically. They're being hunted spiritually. They're being hunted health-wise. And they definitely being hunted financially. So if you want to be on the agenda, here's what you got to do. Individually, we got to get our own economy set in place, because even through this pandemic, the economy was on autopilot and it was still doing what it was doing. The question is, was your economy still going? Is your economy on autopilot through the pandemic, through these viruses, Ebola, swine flu, and all this good stuff? Yeah, the economy takes a temporary hit, but it's still moving as it takes its temporary hit. It's on autopilot. See, the economy is always going to come back. It's going to take a little hit, then it's going to come back. But it's on autopilot. All right? Because It understands how to generate money in this society. The question is, do you have your economy on autopilot? Can it stand the test of times through pandemics, epidemics, or whatever the case may be? We got people who are filing for unemployment left and right, nationwide, because they're looking for money. They got a lifestyle. And I just showed you the bank is taking your money already. I'm going to do another video where I'm going to show you where the government is taking your money. Look, this stuff, look, I'm going to say this and I'm going to end. This is a chess game out here, ladies and gentlemen, not checkers. It is a chess game. And in the chess game, you have more pieces and you have a different set of rules. And in a chess game, depending on the pieces, you can move all over the board. But see, in checkers, you don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. You can either move left or right, diagonally or straight, right? You limit it with moves. And you only got one piece. You only got one piece. But you're limited in your moves. J.D. Rockefeller, one of the wealthiest, richest man here in the world, said this: I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And why is that? Because of the fact he wants to systematically control the way or control your habitat. See, you if you are not a thinker, you don't have full control on your own habitat, your own lifestyle. He controls it, or that person controls it, because they don't want you to think. But we have to become free thinkers. This way, we control our own destiny. But there's a reason why he said that. There's a reason why he's one of the wealthiest person in the world. Because he's using strategy. He's using strategy. Capitalism is nothing more than strategy, ladies and gentlemen. And capitalism will capitalize on people who don't understand or not willing to understand capitalism. You have to be on the right side of capitalism in order for us to thrive financially. If we're on the wrong side, guess what's happening? We're in the soup line. We're filing for unemployment. We're looking for ways to get some kind of money so that way we can keep the lights on, the water on, the food on our table, the clothes on our back, the gas in the car. We're doing all kinds of stuff to keep more money. But if you're on the right side of capitalism, I ain't talking about the left side. If you're on the right side of capitalism, then now you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So my whole goal is to show people we need to get on the right side of capitalism so that we're no longer struggling. But we got to start with the basic, and this is the basic right here. You got to first know what you're up against. It is meaningless to make more money when you don't know where your money is going. A person who can win a lottery ticket of $20 million, all right? But if they don't know where their money is going, they can lose that $20 million in a little no time. We see professional athletes have millions of dollars come through their hand, and then at the end of their career, they broke. I told y'all, making more money doesn't make you smarter. And the minute you understand that and grasp that concept, we can do better. I had to. More money doesn't make us smarter. So in addition to making more money, we need to have some financial literacy to go along with it. All right. This right here, that link that you see strolling, will help you do those two things. Put more money back into your pocket because it's your economy, but then also give you some financial education to keep that money and to make that money grow to the 5 to 10 times more for you and not for someone else. All right. So I hope y'all found this video valuable. If so, share, like, and comment, even if it's negative. I'll even answer negative comments. I'm in the mood. Normally, I would rebuke negative comments because sometimes I most of the time I just don't like, because the devil always will send that one person to you and send something negative to break your spirit, right? So I normally rebuke it, but I will somewhat entertain it if the devil wants to try to test my spirit. So I'll entertain that one person. Go ahead, devil. Go ahead and send that person. So comment, share, like, and comment. Good, bad, and indifferent. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about it. Does the number resonate with you, or does it not? Okay. Say I think you're still lying with the numbers. If that's your belief, put that comment there, and let's have a dialogue about it. Let's have a dialogue about it. All right. This is yours truly, Cedric Jenkins, founder and creator of Your Money Matters. Your money matters because of the fact we get up each and every day to earn it. You have the right to keep it. I'm just showing y'all who's keeping y'all money. I'm not Robin Hood now. This is not Robin Hood. All right. I'm not stealing money from the wealthy and putting it in your pocket. I'm showing you that the wealthy is taking money from you, and I'm showing you that, or I'm showing you that you need to put that money back into your pocket. Let's put that money back into your pocket. You can be your own Robin Hood, but you need to know that you're being robbed. All right. We'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be blessed. Peace.